Howie's free agency. So, shall we give him a grade so far? Where we are to date. I'm not going to go through all the picks again. We've talked about them all. I'll come to Mick. I like throwing you under the bus. Let's get to you first.
Sure.
So, what are your grade? What do you know about ABC plus ratings? What's your grade for Howie in free agency this year?
I'm going to go for a B plus, and if that's not a fence take, I don't know what is. But we've not had that marquee signing yet, so I can't go to A. We've lost a couple of key players, Hargrave being one, CJ being another. So I don't think A could be justified at this point, but I think he has done well to plug the gaps, and it's still early days, so I'm quite happy with that grade.
Don't know what grades you had when you were kids, but B plus being average is it's pretty high, Mick. So well done. Phil, your takes, your grade.
Wait, funny you should say about the B plus being seem like it's above average. The way I do it is the appraisal system in the armed forces.
Here we go.
I mean, harking back to
stop clinging on to it, Phil. You've left.
I know.
No, you're a 7. You're one of us.
You're one of us.
It was good because every time I had to write an appraisal, the grade came with a short bit of text which basically helped clarify. In this case of B, a flat B was performing to standard in most respects. B plus is performing to standard in all respects, and I think it would where we expect the team to be, to Howie to be. Like I said, he's building his base at this point in the season, the off season. I feel like he's performing to standard in all his respects. I feel that there's a huge potential for it to go to A minus, performing above standard in most respects, and then maybe even an A, performing above standard in every aspect. But we'll see how the next few months go across. But so I'm gonna side with Nick and go B plus.
I like this, Professor Mount Stevens, Professor McGivern.
Well, let's get to Professor Brewerton. Tony,
what Phil's just successfully done is reconfirm why I'm not a leader in any of our armed forces, because I was completely confused by all of that. I'm not going to grade by a letter. Phil has started a process that you grade in the organisation that you're in, and we have 4 very simple gradings, which are
meets expectations.
Fully meets expectations, exceeds expectations, doesn't quite meet expectations, and falls below. And I think right now Howie is meeting our expectations. And interestingly, the graphic that Mick pulled up was just another reminder. When you looked at that right-hand column and you looked at the left-hand column of who we've brought in or re-signed, and the right-hand column of who we've let go, I kind of struggle to move anyone from the right-hand column into the left-hand column or swap them around. So I'm quite happy with the guys that we've brought back. The more recent signings at safety and linebacker, not overly convinced by any of them yet. The marquee signing hasn't come, which I'm sure it probably will. And I don't think there's anyone else out there with the money that Howie's had at his disposal that I would have brought in. So right now, he is fully meeting my expectations.
I like it. I like the change up as well. No stickler for our rules, this Tony B. I was just doing a little bit of while I was listening to you there, Tony. I'm going to go to the school grading system here, and it may be different in the Scottish baccalaureate, European baccalaureate versus the Irish leaving cert and the junior cert versus the A levels and the GCSEs in the UK. But we had from D minus all the way through to A plus in terms of our grades. And that's 12 different grades you have. Coming back to this B plus being average for me, I don't know what school he was at. My rating C plus B minus would be the mean grade that you would get, the middle grade that you would get between both ends of the spectrum. I'm going to go C plus.
C plus.
I'm going to go C plus. Yeah, I'm going to go C plus. I'm not giving Howie a B yet, and because he's brought back players we expected him to bring back. I think Jason Kelce's been paid too much money personally for someone of his age, even with his stature. I think
that's a take.
I think 14.25 million is a lot for someone who, even though he's had a Pro Bowl year again, is getting older, and I think it's
He's the
more
best centre in the league.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm thinking more about helping the team out, the collective team out, rather than the individual. If you look at some players who've taken a more team-friendly deal, so money can be dispersed elsewhere among the team. Jason Kelce doesn't need 14.25 million. The amount of money he's probably getting to
He doesn't need it, but he deserves it.
Regardless of whether he deserves it, it's what he should then do with his own decision. What does he demand? Don't disregard deserves. What does he demand? What does he want when he goes into his contract negotiations?
He wanted 14.25 billion and he got it because he deserves it, because he's an absolute shagger. He's the best player on the roster.
He is the best centre in the league. I'll stop short of saying he's the best player on the roster.
Right,
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Roster, top 5.
He is, Mick, but he's been a Philly diehard for years.
That doesn't mean you take a pay cut. Would you take a pay cut because your boss said you did a good job?
It's not about that. It's about what's right.
It's about that.
No, it's do you want to win a Super Bowl or do you want to get more money? That's what it's about.
No, it's not about that.
We've just been talking about the fact that he's running at the same speed as Miles Sanders behind him in some of the key plays of the season.
He's not running at the same speed as Miles Sanders.
I mean,
that was a comparison.
It's not far off.
He's not running at the same speed as Miles Sanders. And I'm sorry, you might disagree with Mick, and that's fine. If I was Jason Kelce and I've been paid as much as I have, and all the accolades I have, and my new podcast and all my endorsements, for me, coming back to the Philadelphia Eagles is not about getting paid the best center money in the NFL. It's about winning the Super Bowl for the Eagles. The best way to do that, if you're going to be on that team, is take less money than you normally would to enable that money to be distributed elsewhere. Got to think organizationally, not with your heart.
How much do you think he should have taken?
10.
Why that? What's the difference between another
4.25 million if you do the maths?
Yeah.
That's good. That 4.25 million can go elsewhere.
Where?
Into a defensive tackle we pick up maybe in free agency. Into an offensive tackle that we pick up. Into someone.
This is, move on. This is ridiculous. I'm not, isn't it?
Into something. Say during the season when we want to pick up someone to fill a need from an injury, you use that money elsewhere.
I cannot believe you're throwing shade at Jason Kelce on this podcast.
I'm not throwing shade at Jason Kelce.
Yeah, you're saying he's not taking a team-friendly deal and you should have taken a pay cut to come back to the Eagles.
I'm telling you, he should have taken a pay cut. Yeah, it should be about Super Bowls, not money. Absolutely.
Phil?
What? Don't throw me into your argument. I'm with you, Mick, but it's for me. It's more of a case of I can see both sides. I think.
Oh, here we go.
No, but he's a legend, and I think he deserves every penny he gets to back up Mick's point. But I also would have thought if the reason I don't think that he needed to is because obviously Howie's going to go, yeah, we can afford that, so it's no problem. It's no question. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to take a pay cut if Howie doesn't need him to. But I'm sure if Howie said, look, mate, can you take 12? Can you take 11? He probably would have done that, but he didn't need to, and he didn't want to disrespect the legend. So that's where we are.
Jason Kelce is my favorite Eagles player of all time. I love the guy. That doesn't mean I can't see that. That doesn't mean I can't see that. In my opinion, it's not fact. I don't think he should have. I don't think he should have commanded that much money. And it's not like Howie would have went, nah, Jason, don't worry about 11. We'll give you 14. That is the message coming from his agent. That's the message coming from Jason Kelce. That's the number it's going to take to come back to the Eagles. In my mind, a legend like Jason Kelce should be thinking more about money less about money and more about winning a Super Bowl for the Eagles. Anyway, I know you don't agree, so let's move on from that topic. There you go. What a take. That was good segment. I like that. Mick did.
I'm going to be interested to hear what you think when Jalen Hurts eventually gets his contract and whether it's too hard to whether he should have taken a pay cut to help the team or not.
Well, he's never going to take a pay cut, is he? Because he earned like $2 million last year. But yeah, I know.
Well, you know what I mean. A pay cut from where people are talking about $50 million a year is what I meant.
Right. Let's take a 60-second break from the podcast for Mick's fumes to die down, and then when we come back, we're going to announce a special announcement. Back in 60.